Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. So still entries continue to come in for our Sudoku hunt, which is great, and loads of satisfied customers. People have been very happy with that. So we're very pleased, obviously, and do recommend it to any patrons who haven't already joined up. People are continuing to join as patrons, and that's brilliant. Thank you so much for you know, entrusting some money to us. We're really grateful, and it certainly does help the channel keep up the content. Talking of which, I think we are going to be posting something new for July, although we'd sort of thought maybe the puzzle hunt would be July's content. In fact, we are going to post a new puzzle. It's not all that hard, actually. It's to advertise the Queen Sudoku puzzles, which have now been released on the Chess Sudoku app. If you have the app, you may need to go into the App Store and press update there to get hold of the Queen puzzles. I had to do that myself, just to check they were there. I don't need the puzzles because I have tested them all, and I think they're high quality, frankly. So I think you'll enjoy those if you've got the Chess Sudoku app, and if you haven't, why not get it? Anyway, enough about that. Now, I sometimes say that the puzzles I like to do have few constraints, like just one or two different types of extra constraint. Now, this puzzle originally had 4 constraints, but our tester says one of them's not necessary, so he's reduced it to 3 for me. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, so what I've been told this puzzle is a knight odd anti-diagonal snake. Okay, what the heck is that? So knight's move restrictions apply. So 2, for example, as well as normal Sudoku rules, can't be in those cells in box 6, but because of the knight's move restriction, it also can't be in those 2. A knight in chess moves 2 and 1, so those, and I mean the other cells that could reach by a knight's move are those. So that is one restriction. Another is the snake in the middle box. Now, apparently the middle box has a sequence of 1 to 9 forming a snake. So they could go this way or up and down, or they could start in the middle even and go all the way around. So 1 to 9 is an orthogonally connected sequence, or a snake in the middle. And finally, the diagonals. These are not the normal diagonal restriction. On each diagonal, there are just 3 odd digits. So it's going to be the same 3 digits here as are here. Not necessarily in the same order, but that's what's called an anti-diagonal constraint order. Here, the extra thing is that they're all odd. So there we go. Those are the restrictions of this odd anti-diagonal knight snake Sudoku by Stephen Jones. So thanks very much for sending it, Stephen. Looking forward to trying this. When I've finished the puzzle, hopefully, I will find out what the 4th constraint is. So you can check the end of the video first if you want. There is a 4th constraint that Stephen's built in, but it's not needed for solving. So I'm not going to be solving it with that constraint. So with all of that, do feel free to try the puzzle on the link below the video. I'm going to give it a try now, so let's get cracking. Well, the odd constraint across the diagonals is interesting. I'm going to do some colouring, because that makes it sound to me as though odds and evens are going to be significant in this. I missed an opportunity to do colouring on a recent video that cost me, so I'm going to do it this time. Those givens are obviously even, but actually look, in this central box we've already got 5 O for orange or odd cells shaded in, so the other 4 all have to be even. So I'm going to make those blue, and for contrast. And so these cells shaded blue are all even. The orange ones are all odd. Now, does that have any impact on this box? Not much, actually, because I think, in fact, we could have known that they would be those parities from the fact that there's a snake constraint to fit in even digits. They were going to have to be like that. So actually, that's not a huge advance now I think about it. Never mind. So Okay, let's remember the knight's move. Constraint. Ah, yes. Look, now we know where the odd numbers are in this central box. That's great for this 1. That can't be there or there by regular Sudoku. And by knight's move, it can't be there or there. So we can actually place the 1 on the only other remaining odd cell. So 1 goes there. Now that means that these 3 include a 1. Because they're on the diagonal with these 3, they have to include a 1. And 2 of them can't be a 1. This one by normal Sudoku and that one by knight's move. So 1 goes there. Down here, nah, haven't got a clue. 1 could be in any of them. Now is that working brilliantly anywhere else? Ah, look, 1 is off the other diagonal. So these 3 cells can't contain a 1. Therefore, these 3 cells don't contain a 1. We know they're odd and they don't contain a 9. So they've got to be 3, 5 and 7. And they must be the cells on every instance of this diagonal. So we can fill in 3, 5 and 7 for them all. This one can't be and this one can't be 3 because of the position of this 3. This 7 means that and that can't be 7. Oh, and look in the middle now. 3, 5, 7 on those 3 odd cells. 1 there. The other one must be 9. Whoa, I like how this works together. So we know that 9 is on these 3. Clearly it can't be there because of this 9. So we can put in 9 there. I had a heart-stopping moment where I thought that was a knight's move away from that one, but it's not. So 9 down here is on the diagonal again. So it goes on one of those 2. 1, 9. Now this other one must be the same as the central cell. So it's either 5 or 7. Yeah, that's not... Oh, it's not 7 because 7 is not on this diagonal. So, yeah, 1, 9 and 5. I'll put it in the corner, but we actually know that this is a triple now. 1, 5 and 9. And we know that in all of the other instances of that diagonal, it's 1, 9 and 5. That gives us the number in the middle. Those aren't 5. Doesn't actually help. Well, this one can't be 5 and this one can't be 5 because of the 5 we've placed. That doesn't give us a pair anywhere. But that's a great start. I mean, that's a very entertaining puzzle already. But how do we make any further? Now, what about the snake in the middle? 1, 5 and 9. So, yes, it can only pass through. It has to do one side of the 5 before it goes through. So it either goes like that or like that. So this is either, well, it either goes this way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or it goes this way around. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we get lots of pairs out of that, but they're not very helpful. So I haven't resolved the snake yet. So we're going to have to find something else to do. Now, let's remember knight's move. That can be very powerful. So, well, okay, before knight's move, look at that 6 and 4 and that 6 and 4. They're both ruling out all of those cells in box 9. So 6 and 4 must be in those 3. No, maybe that's not all that helpful. 4 up here, is those and those are ruled out. Okay, 4's in one of those 2, but I don't know which one. Where else do we make progress here? 6, 4, 5. Oh, 1. Yes, look, 1 and 1 there in columns 4 and 6. So where does 1 go in column 5? Not here because of the knight's move. Obviously not in any of these, so it must be here. That takes 1 out of this cell. Actually, there's quite a lot of 1s looking into this box. Those are all ruled out by regular Sudoku. and those two by the knight's move. So one must be in one of those two. And down here now, they're all ruled out. Oh, look, that's ruled out by the knight's move from there. So one is now in one of these two, and that means it's not in this cell. We can place the one in these odd cells on the diagonal here. It's there. So let's take that up the grid. Oh, it doesn't help much. Those are all ruled out, and that by knight's move. I'm going to put ones in those other cells. It's beginning to occur to me that my cunning plan of doing colouring is pretty irrelevant here, actually. But anyway, maybe it'll turn out to be more useful. Or maybe I'll just unshade. So one is in one of those two cells because of these ones. Yeah, I can't tell which. Okay, what about... Oh, that's... 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. No, I don't know now. So, what else can we find to do? 2, 5, 1, 9. Oh, that's interesting. That's seen by both these cells, so it can't be 4 or 8. It does still leave 3, 6, and 7 as possibilities. So not... Ah! Is that seen by those two as well? Yes, it is. It's seen by both of those on knight's move and both of those on regular Sudoku. So it can't be even. So it's 3 or 7. It's a pair with that one. So that makes this 8. What a bizarre relationship. And then we have 4, 6 in the other two, and I can't disambiguate those. Now we have 3, 7 as a pair up there. That's very peculiar. So do these 8 and 8, they're both seeing this cell and this one. It's not as helpful. This night stuff does work quite strangely sometimes, it has to be said. Oh yes, look, this is really interesting. Row 7. Where does 5 go in row 7? I've thought about that because this 5 is seeing those two cells. So because of this 5, none of those are possible to be 5. Now 5's down here. Because of that 5 and the fact it's on the diagonal, those can't be 5. Over here, it's on the diagonal, so those can't be 5. So we can actually place a 5 here. That's just so peculiar. That puts 9 here. That doesn't really... Oh, yes, it does. Look at 9s. 9 and 9 there. 9 there rules out that cell. That 9 rules out that one as well. So 9 goes in here in column 3. That gives us a 9 in one of those two. It's so strange sometimes how these knights move things work together. Let's keep going with 9s. 9 is ruled out of those two. That 9 takes that one. So there are 3 possible 9 cell candidates there. In this box, that. That one's ruling out that cell, but it's leaving those two. That's not quite as helpful as I want to. Oh, but up here. The 9 there, and 9 there. They're ruling out all of those. So we're left with 2 candidates. So in fact, yeah, I can kind of see how 9s work their way in possibilities around the board, and I can't resolve them yet. Bored. I must be thinking very chessy now. 3 can't be there or there because of this 3. Ah, that's brilliant. Yes, 3 is here. And that means we can resolve this cell. That must now be 7. So we can do that whole triple, 7, 5, 3. 7 now in the bottom row has to be here. 5, 5 can still be in one of those two. 1, 2, 8 along the bottom. No, can't decide those. 7, 3, 6, 1. tempted to work out all the possibilities for these cells, but that might be a bit pointless at this stage. Where else can we get some? It's amazing how you can find these things all over. No, sometimes you can get led down false paths by possibilities. 7 there, that's ruled out of all those cells by that 7. So that means it's in one of these. It can't be in this one because that's seen by both of that pair. These two see that cell. So 7 is now restricted to one of those two. So these are different. I suppose probably knew that anyway. No, maybe not. I don't really know what I'm thinking. Yes, if that's 7, that puts 7 there, which puts 3 there. I don't quite know how that's helpful. I think I'm missing something better. Still haven't resolved this snake quite yet. That's irritating. 7, 3, 6, 1, 5, 9, 4. No, 4 must be in one of those, but that's not proving anything. This 2 is seeing that, all of those cells. These pair of 2s are both seeing that one. So 2 is restricted to those 3. They would all see that, but that's not very helpful. Okay, come on, come on, come on. 9s, 8s, no. There, one of those is 8, so that's ruling out that, but actually that was caught by this one already. How about up here? 9, 3, 5, 7. So, and this one can't be 4 or 6 or 1 either. It's 2 or 8. Doesn't resolve anything either. Not quite done yet, but just feel we're on the track. Oh, look, that 3's sorted out this 7-3 pair. Is that going to have any further ramifications over to the left? Or how about 7s? Restricts them down to those 2 cells because that one's seeing that one by knight's move. Look, 7 there and 7 there are kept out of row 6. So row 6's 7 is on the snake, and that means we can suddenly finish off the whole of the central cell, the whole of the central box, I mean. Right. Now, that 3, now we know these are different because of the position of those, don't we? Can I rely on that? I think I can. Whatever one of these, maybe I can't. Maybe that can still be a 3. I think I've been very dumb there. This can't be a 3 anymore because of the 3 we placed here. Now, what about 3 in column 7? Yes. Can't be in this box. Not there because of that 3, and this 3 stops it being there. So 3 is here. That fixes 9, and that means we can do all the 9s around the grid. And 9s are now finished. Once we do that one, let's take out the remaining pencil marks. There we go. Now, 6, 4, 3, 5, 7, 9. This can't be 2 because of the knight's move, so that's 1 or 8. This can't be 1, so that's 2 or 8. That could be any of them. Bother. That's 2 or 8 as well. 13295. So 7 in column 9. Oh look, yeah, it's restricted to 1 pencil mark there. Should have picked that up. So 7 goes in there. Yes, that's sorted out the whole diagonal. 5. I think we're finished with all the diagonals now and the snake. So we're just left with knight's move. 7 there now. They weren't one of them 7 and one of them 3, so all that thinking was stupid. 17695. So 3 in the top row can't be there because of that by knight's move. Now 2 must be in one of those 2 because that 2 means it can't be anywhere there. That means it's in one of these 2. Still don't know about that 4-6 pair. 4 has to be there or there because this 4 is ruling it out from those 3. So fill in a 4 in one of those 2. That gives us a 4 in one of these 2. Now down here, 8 is in one of those 2 because of that 8. And 2, it could be anywhere in those 3. So there is more than one possibility for everything. It's very hard to keep track on everything that one's concluded. Oh, look, those 1s, yes. I knew when I put them in, when I took the 1 out of there, that those 1s might be helpful, and then I forgot to check. So they'll rule out that as being a 1. So we can put in 1 there. Now those, yeah, they stay. 57193. So 6 must be in one of these 2 because of the position of the 6 in the top row. That puts 6 in one of those 2. It doesn't actually help around the rest of the grid, surprisingly. 4, that's still not ruled out. Oh, if I knew that whether that was 2 or 8, it would resolve this, which has to be 2 or 8 as well. Or maybe that's interesting because they're different because of the knight's move, and they're both seeing this cell, which sees all the other digits apart from 4. So that must be 4. How peculiar. Okay, so that fixes that 6. We've now got a 285 triple along here. And that gives us a 6 at the end. 6, 7, 1, 5, 9, 3, 4 is there. That's a 2-8 pair, one of which will resolve that. So 4 in the central row can't be there in column 2. Sorry, column 2 can't be there by knight's move, so it's here. That puts 4 there. That resolves 1. Oh, another 2-8 pair. 2 8s are going together. 1 and 6 to finish off row 5. Let's just get rid of a couple of pencil marks that are distracting me there. Now 3, yeah, 3 sees all those, so we can put 3 in. And I think we are kind of finishing off now. 2, 8, 5 to go in. Yeah, this one's 8 because it's a naked single now. 2 and 5 there, 6 up here. 5 there, 2 and 8, yet again coupled together. 6 goes here. 6 is there now. 4 is there. 8 must be here because of this 8. We've got 2 and 1 to finish off. Can finish the row with a 2. 8 and 3 to finish the box. 4 to finish the row. So we've got a 285 triple there and a 285 triple there. That 8 has sorted out our last 2 8s on the left. And now that 2 resolves it. 8, 5, 2, and down here 5, 2, 8. And there we go. Didn't need the colouring at all. Sorry, it's all partly coloured. Let's take that. Well, I'll take it out in a moment. Let's just check that it's okay. And now to find out what the other constraint was, I will go and check the emails, the original email and the email from the tester, and be back to you in a second. Oh, that's very interesting. Apparently the other restraint was a disjoint restraint, which means that the constraint, the same digit can't appear in the same cell of each box. So if we look at the top left, 5, 6, 5, 4, 6, 1, 3, 2, 8, 9, 7, they're all different. My goodness, that's quite a strong constraint, especially given the anti-diagonal one as well. I'm just going to white the whole thing out so we can maybe, oops, nearly the whole thing, so we can see that a bit more clearly maybe. Again, if I highlight the middle cell of each box, you'll be able to see that they are all the different numbers. Now, why I think that's quite strong on the diagonal is where we had kind of 5, 7, 3, 3, 5, 7 penciled in, they could never have been the same in the corners. And that's, I think that would have been quite strong. It would have made it an easier puzzle. I think it was a very nice puzzle as solved. So thanks to our tester for recommending that I do it like that. Also, I think it kept it simple enough. The rule set is reasonably understandable. Certainly, I hope so. I guess we'll find out in the comments. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you to Stephen Jones for sending it. Intriguing puzzle, and well done for compiling that. I hope you had fun with it. Hope to see you again soon on Cracking the Cryptic. But bye for now.